system, the entire universe operates according to precise mathematical principles, much like a self-consistent equation. Our minds, being part of this mathematical reality, perceive the world through this logical framework. This perception creates the shared dream we all experience as the physical universe. A key feature of this mathematical reality is that it doesn't require external creators or a program. Instead, the entire system is based on the concept of zero, which represents nothingness but also holds infinite potential. Zero is the foundation of all mathematical reality, containing all numbers, both positive and negative, and is inherently eternal, avoiding the problem of infinite regress. In this view, the universe is a mental construct emerging from the infinite potential of zero, where each mind contributes to the shared dream. This reality isn't a simulation, but a self-sustaining mathematical structure where all minds and matter are interconnected. So, is reality a simulation? According to the Neogenian system, it's not. Instead, reality is a mental, mathematical construct that seems like a code because it's rooted in the logical framework of mathematics. The simulation hypothesis falters due to infinite regress, whereas the Neogenian system bypasses this by grounding everything in the concept of zero, which is inherently eternal. By understanding this mental, mathematical reality, we can recognize the shared dream we live in and appreciate the complex patterns arising from this foundational truth. For more information on the Neogenian system, including our book series, visit the links in the description of this video.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming to hang out. So I have already lost the original video. Wait. The original video that I was gonna play was this, but we're gonna get to that. So while I am over here getting everything still up and running, you guys let me know how you're feeling. I am doing it. Can you feel it? Yes, Mr. Krabs. Denver said something, said sinful. Your voice is same to Justice Smith in film The Voyeurs. Okay, so when I read that silently in my head, everything kind of just came together and I had no idea what any of those things meant separately. But reading it out loud made much more sense. I don't know who Justin Smith is. Should I look them up? I'm just going to look up Justin Smith just to see who they are. And Justin is... Oh, Justice. Oh, I do know Justice Smith. Justice Smith. I've seen him in... Oh, I have watched this movie. Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't get through the whole movie just because, like... spoiler alerts. Anybody who's not into spoilers, make sure that you take a step back or put it on mute for a second. What's up, Captain Smoker? Thanks for coming through. But the Voyeurs got really crazy. So the girlfriend sees somebody in the other building getting smashed hard. And then she's like, oh, what a dreamy husband. She starts to really like the chick and stuff like that. But then the chick gets murdered, or like she gets cheated on, and then the chick ends up dying or something like that. So then she goes undercover over to the other side and starts trying to like get with the dude and stuff like that. But she thinks, I don't know if she thinks he murdered her or what. I can't really remember. But wow, Denver Walker. The fact that you said that, I actually saw him in Dungeons and Dragons. And you know what? I did watch the American Society of the Magical Negro, but was he the main character in this? Let me see. I guess he was. I feel like he left a more lasting impression in Dungeons and Dragons. Dude, has anybody seen him in anything? Chick-fil-A. Filleted. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to see Detective Pikachu, unfortunately. Oh, Now You See Me 3? Okay, I did watch the first two of them, and I really did like Now You See Me 1 and 2. They were pretty good. I'm not going to lie. But yes. Mick Coney. Okay. So we got about 16 people in chat right now. So I was to start things off, I was just kind of wondering how I should run my streams in the future. Feels kind of tough. I don't always want to constantly be doing wheel spins and stuff like that. I know a lot of people like wheel spins, but I actually enjoy um, tipping people out for participation. So the last live stream we did, I was able to tip out everybody, I think like 300,000 per person. So I know that with the wheel spins, people have been able to make a lot more. So, what I'm thinking is that on the days that I do wheel spins, I might set it as a followers only um live stream. So you have to be a follower, and it might be a premium live stream where you have to put in to join the live stream because so far people are pretty much guaranteed like a minimum as long as you're paying attention. One, because I want the chat to actually be actively engaging. I want people to feel invested in how the stream goes, which is why I'm thinking about making the wheel spin episodes the ones that are going to have like 1 million on the line, 2 million on the line, right? I mean, yeah, yeah, right. I want people to one be invested because if you have to pay the premium to get into the live stream, I feel like not just jump in for the wheel spin. Yeah, exactly. So that's what Jonathan Hernandez just said, and I am all for everybody communicating with their friends and telling people to come hang out and stuff like that. I am all for that, no problem. And the thing is, with the wheel spin, you will be reimbursed whatever you put in to get in there and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that people are actually invested in how Tangled turns out, how well our live streamers are doing, and making sure that the live streamers feel appreciated. So it's not going to be every stream that's like that. So it would probably just be the ones that I know are going to be big wheel spins and the ones that will probably be longer streams. So instead of cutting it at like an hour and a half or hour 45 minutes, it might be like a 2 or 3 hour live stream. So it would probably end up being on a weekend. And I know that most of our users are active midday to evening. I'm and then Dab says I'm gonna make a badge and you have to own it for the wheel spin. That would be a great idea. Octo says, you know what I like? Instead of wheel spins, go to the user's profile and tip their post tip spree. I like so usually when I'm doing my lives, I do head over to Tangled. Only thing is I actually follow like every type of account that I want because I'm an adult and I don't care. So I do have to be careful about scrolling when it comes to being untangled. But I do like making sure I'm shouting out people's profiles. Like for example, you guys should be making sure you're following BT Golf because this is the homie. Um, these are older episodes. I mean, yeah. Look at this. What is this? Is this going to be a new badge? Because that looks cool. Doesn't this look cool? And this is from 17 minutes ago. And so I've been trying to like I like to watch the statistics. So I want to see like when the pay is coming out or like across the statistics because I feel like people would feel more engaged if they seen the amount of transactions that was happening. But I realized that bulk payments doesn't go across as like a payout, and if you just tip people to their page directly, it also doesn't go to the statistics as a payout. So unless you're tipping posts and stuff like that, it doesn't come out, and that's the only thing that sucks. Thanks for stopping through, Danny. I appreciate it. I already have a badge that I want to make. I don't know who. I think I was talking to Octo a little bit. Um, uh, this is I didn't say this specifically, but this is pretty much the. Hold on. Yeah, this is the image I want. It already has the nothing background, so this is the image. I do want it a little edited though, but I want this as my sticker or as my badge because it looks cool AF. And I think having like either limited time badges or badges that go up in price or badges that can be passed out or whatever would definitely be good for the community. Um, Mia DeBeo, people like me love Tangled, and I enjoy chatting with different people from all over the world. Badge is a good idea. I'm glad that you are still staying to hang out with people even though you're so sleepy. Excuse me. I appreciate everybody who decides to come out even though you're all so tired. I know it's rough with everyone being from different parts of the world. I think that people should also try to start making an attempt to watch live streams that have already ended. And the only thing that sucks is that there's no notifications when people comment on old live streams, which is one of the reasons why I had been suggesting to Price that a pay function for live chat would be useful, even if it's just to notify the streamer that there are people who are still actively engaging with past posts. You know, at least people would know that there are topics that people are still interested in, and people also might feel more compelled to to share live streams from people. So hey, that's the badge idea I am doing for the poker game tournaments. Okay, so you're doing your own particular badge idea. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were like running, a badge mill in the background, and you was just going to do and pass them all out, or have Danny upload them, or what you was doing. So let me just get over here. That's why I make people comment when I pay out also as proof you paid for GPay. Yeah, I see I like the way that Dabs was doing his payouts when first of all he's sharing the original post. Like he's reposting it as the main piece so that he can just comment on that post and then you can click it and see where what the original post is. For me, when I put it up, I don't necessarily have it tied on the stat sheet. I have it tied so Danny can see, but like mine is just a bunch of words, and like all I can do is share a picture like this because I can't even enlarge the pay application so that I can show like a nice screenshot. Oh, that one wasn't nice. Oh, yeah. Like, I have to scroll this. There's no way that I could screenshot this, and I can't make it bigger. There's no way to grab the sides to make it bigger. So, it does make it kind of hard. Or even if there was a way to this is all the names, so it would be redundant to make it another way to see names. So it just makes it very hard to really get the proof out there. But at least you can see the pay ID. Let me see if I go to history. So yeah, at least with this they can check. Okay, it was payment number 540. Okay, we can just look that up and then they can go back that way. But I do wish there was a little bit more like cleaner way to do bulk, show everything, and engage with everyone. You don't comment, you don't get paid. No point in tipping unactive users. Absolutely. What's up, party people? Okay. So the other day, I listened to Price say BP Vason. BP Vason. Is that how you're supposed to say the THEISEN Vason? I just want to be I hate being somebody who is like pronouncing things god awful. Limited quantity and ability to resell what happened in time. Yeah, definitely good idea for reselling. And then are we gonna get the American badge? I mean the American flag badge fixed? Because I was really shocked about that. art prompter hit me up and was like, "Hey, can't find it." And then somebody else hit me up as well and said they couldn't find it. And I forgot that I had the American flag badge. So, like I said, I went to Maya's page, and I was like, all up on his, clicking his around and stuff like that. I could have just went to my own page and figured it out. I didn't even realize it. I mean, I'm glad that you're working. I'm glad that we're still in a society where people can find a job if they need it and stuff like that. I feel bad because I'm a huge proponent for tech in the future revolution that's coming. AI is going to be able to disrupt anywhere from 10 to 50% of jobs just on the computer alone. And once AI is embodied in various different types of robots and stuff like that, that's pretty much all the rest of the jobs. So I am extremely anxious for humanity at large because so many people have their identity tied to the job that they do. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's great to feel awesome being a banker or a lawyer or a teacher or a mentor. I think all of that is great and phenomenal. I just don't know what's going to happen when we are currently in a meaning crisis. Nihilism has seeped so deeply into society that when people don't need to go to work, right, or have no qualifications to work, because not only can the AI do it better, but less people are harmed, less emissions, less toxicity, just less everything when people are no longer involved in the grand scheme of things. I do feel bad that people are not going to know what to do. Then you have people like Brian Johnson, who was trying to extend vitality and make humans live youthfully for through rejuvenation, which means not just no longer aging, but to constantly be in the state of physical prime when you're somewhere between your early 20s and late 20s. So, and then being able to be in that state perpetually for decades or centuries. Are humans even going to still need to have children at the rate that we're having children now? Granted, we are in a crisis when it comes to childbirth around the world, not just in the US, but all around the world. But I just feel like when it comes to jobs, when it comes to how many humans there are on the earth, if the standard families are still going to matter and stuff like that, I just think that we have so many problems that nobody really wants to talk about or face, or when you bring it up, it gives them anxiety and then they can't sleep at night, so they have to do drugs and alcohol and all this other stuff. I feel horrible because I want the future. Absolutely. I want us to, like, whether you believe in sci-fi or whether you believe in like magic and wizards and stuff like that, or witches and potions and dragons and stuff, either way, the society that we live in can give us the opportunity to be extraordinary. And I'm talking about, like, later I plan on checking to see if Amazon has Limitless on for view, because I have the Amazon Prime, because I want to watch Limitless tonight just so I can like feel amped up. Like I don't want to be like, oh yeah, let's pop pills. Like, that's not what I'm saying. That's horrible. Don't do it. Don't. I'm just joking. Don't let the algorithm take me out. I'm just kidding. But I do want us to be able to be enhanced through, I don't know, an energy drink like a potion, or a medical pill like an elixir, right? Or through genetic engineering, or through some other form of augmentation. Okay, I'm gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom because I'm just missing out. I'm sorry, guys. I've been working for 14 years in coffee. It's just what I do. In coffee, 14 years is a long time. 14 years is, I don't think that I've ever worked for, I so in America, because I'm not exactly sure where you're at. In America, if you want to be a good capitalist, if you want to be a good member of the capitalist society, you're supposed to get a new job every 2 to 3 years so that you can get a pay increase, and so that the position that you were in can be filled by with someone with lower skills. Um, or you're supposed to be in a career path that goes up, right? So if you find yourself sitting at the same spot for 5 years, then, excuse me, you should most likely switch career paths and try to apply yourself somewhere else. That's here in America if you want to be a good capitalist. Most people don't know that though. They end up getting caught in the cycle and staying in these same places, and then they're wondering why they can't afford certain things, or why the quality of their life is going down, and that's because of inflation. So I don't know about the economy in other countries and stuff like that. Here in the U.S., inflation is no less than 2%, which means that the American dollar will always lose its buying power. It will always slowly get weaker and weaker unless you own assets, and that's a whole different conversation. But most people have no idea how the economy works, how money works, what it means to be a worker rather than an owner in society. So because we are uneducated in mass, people get caught up and they say things like, um, every job should be providing living wages, and they get mad at people when they say people at McDonald's should be making $15 an hour, and then you have other people who are like, the ambulance drivers are making $15 an hour, and then you have people who are like, well, pay the ambulance drivers more and stuff like that. Right now, how society is structured is god awful and disgusting and just asinine. There are capitalism works because people lose. That is how capitalism works. There's always going to be somebody on the bottom and somebody on top. There have already been winners of capitalism, all those people who have millions and billions of dollars and don't do anything but shoot cars into space and snort it up their nose. Those people, they have already won capitalism. They can buy buildings and cities and islands and whatever they want. And people, they can literally buy people, and they're just unhappy because they have no other meaning in their life except for having money. They don't know themselves. They've never had to dig deep. And I mean, you have people like Jim Carrey who decided to go out and be an artist, and he's trying to connect with the universe and think big and be spiritual and stuff like that. People like that are cool. But most of the people with all the money, they're just insane. Captain Smoker's in New Zealand? I heard New Zealand's pretty cool. Let's look at some pictures of New Zealand. Why does it bring up time zone? I just want to look at it. Images. So is it as pretty as they talk about? Like, look at how gorgeous that is. Doesn't that just look gorgeous? Or is it all fabricated? Salfrodo, what's up? Most Americans are poor and uneducated. The government keeps it that way, unfortunately. I can't wait to get back with my family. I'm going to teach my sons and daughters how to trade and how to use AI. So Jonathan Hernandez, Dabs, I've been wondering, so sometimes you say stuff like you're in Mexico, or like you're talking to your immigration officer and stuff like that. So I didn't know if you were already in the US, or if you are in the US and you were talking to your immigration officer, or if you're actually in Mexico, or what. Like, I was just very confused. I had no idea. I thought that you were in the US. So they are 10 and 12. Wow, yeah, they're definitely older. So what about them Earthships? I know. No, you're really in Mexico? You're really dead ass in Mexico, bro. You're dead ass. You're dead ass in Mexico. It's so crazy because, like, yeah, we talk to people who are in like the Philippines and like different European countries and stuff like that. But I'm surprised there's not a bunch of Mexicans on here. I'm really, really surprised. Where are all the rest of the Mexicans? What's going on? Do we have any Canadians on here? Why does it seem like there's Americans, Europeans, and Filipino, but no Mexicans or Canadians? What the fuck? Let me see. I'm missing out on some of the chat. Hold on, let's see. Uh, Jonathan Hernandez is saying crazy stuff in the chat. Don't you think if you were going to steal a job, it would be a good job, not jobs that people don't want? Um, I think that people believe the lie that America is this uh savior land and that they just need to get a foot in the door and then everything will get better. I mean, it could be possible. Of course, Mexicans aren't actually stealing jobs. That Mexicans actually create a lot of jobs in America. They come over here, they work for a few months, maybe a year or so, and then they create their own businesses. And then they hire people and then they spend money. Mexicans spend a lot of money. Guess what? They have to go to the grocery store. They throw parties. They fix their cars up. Like Mexicans are great for the economy. The propaganda that it's the Mexicans' fault that people don't have jobs or money or anything like that is just absolutely asinine. And then Captain Smoker says, yes, it is, bro. Beautiful place. Yeah, I hear a lot about how beautiful New Zealand is and stuff like that. Is it safe though? That's what I want to know. Is it actually safe? I'm afraid to go anywhere in the world because I just don't know if it's safe or not. If you step off of the resorts, pretty much they say that they're going to get like beat up, kidnapped, and like assaulted if you're an American, like essayed, and so it kind of makes me nervous. The land you have is nice. We haven't ruined it with tons of buildings yet, thankfully, right? Dabs, I can't believe you're actually in Mexico, bro. Like I thought, like I didn't think it was a joke. Like I just thought that you was like messing around, you know? I didn't think that you was serious. Especially when you said like your immigration officer and stuff like that. Bro, what? You just seem so American sometimes. How could you not be American, bro? I don't understand. The way that you be cussing people out, I really thought that you was down here in like Florida or like Texas or Pennsylvania. I could see you in Pennsylvania cussing people out. Yeah, for sure. That's just crazy. Oh, it's not big on crypto in Mexico. That's sad. I know a few Mexicans and Canadians on here. Are you sure, Octo? I haven't seen. That's just me. I don't have a lot of followers on here yet, so in the future I'll hopefully have more followers. New MN is like Little Canada. That count? Is it supposed to be New Mexico? Cause what's MN? Maine? What state is MN? Oh, Minnesota. Minnesota. I don't think that Minnesota. Oh, is like Little Canada. Oh, okay. I thought I was reading it as Little Mexico. Okay, so yeah, I have been on throughout the country except for what states haven't I been to? Should we open up the map? Let's open up maps. So, the only places I haven't been to is South Dakota, and then I haven't been up here to Alaska, which look how big Alaska is. It's ginormous. And then I haven't been over here to little itty bitty Hawaii. Should we scoot in a little bit? Yeah, I haven't been down to Hawaii. But for the rest of the states, I've been to every single last one of these states. I've driven from upper state New York, taking I-90. Yeah, I was up here in Buffalo. Oh, I was up here in Rochester. I drove all the way up here and then took I-90 all the way across the country. Where's I-90 at over here? Dang, yeah, that was horrible. Once I started to get towards, oh, did I go to South Dakota? Oh, maybe I didn't go to North Dakota. Okay, yeah, I went to South Dakota, not North Dakota. My apologies. And yeah, I went through Wyoming. Wyoming was cool. When I got to like Wyoming and Montana and like Washington State and stuff like that, it started to get really scary because it was like a part of the country that they don't talk about and how nice it looks. Like you hear stuff on TV, but it looks like another country. But like this place is gorgeous. There's parts of America that is actually like really lovely that they just don't tell you about. We are going to talk about Earthships, though. I promise. Look at how cool they look. I know. Let's see. Neither is New Zealand. Oh, they're not big on crypto either up there in New Zealand. Well, you guys are good that you're getting into it early before the rest of the country does. Then you can just own the whole like giant. What do you guys have? Provinces? What's up, Ice? Thanks for coming to hang out. The American dream is dead. The American dream was a nightmare and it was a lie the whole time. The American dream is built off of blood, sweat, and tears. Literally. If it wasn't for my kids, I would stay in Mexico. I have some friends that are actually afraid of being deported, and they're saying that they would actually not mind going back to Mexico with how crazy it is in America right now. So I have heard a lot of people talking about rather wanting to kind of just stay out there. Opening taco truck when I get back up here into the US. You want to open a taco truck? My favorite taco truck was in Texas. I'm not gonna lie. There was a taco truck in Laredo, and there was another taco truck I think in New Mexico that were both, or was it another state? And there was another city in Texas. Hold on. One was in Laredo, and I think maybe somewhere in West Texas. Let me see which city it was in West Texas. San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. Where is Laredo? Fort Bliss. Yeah, once you start getting down here, it starts getting real scary. So so I was a truck driver, and one of the places that I stopped at, they stole my trailer and they drove it into Mexico. They cut off the GPS line, and we never saw it again. San Antonio, why can't I find Laredo? Is it down here? No, it's not down here. I haven't looked at a map in a long time, so you guys gotta give me a second. Okay, here it is. So I-35. This was also the first time that I crossed so close to the border, and I was afraid that they weren't gonna let me back over. But Border Patrol was literally like, "Are you an American?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "Yeah, go ahead." And that was it. Sup, Spookadelics? Thanks for coming to hang out. I appreciate it. And it looks like Renaissance also just put up a new video on YouTube. Night Octo, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you stopping by even though you're so tired. I'm sorry that I'm 8 minutes behind seeing your message. It is one of the safest countries in the world. I'm sorry I'm so slow. Yeah, Minnesota. I'm sorry. So BP, like I said, I heard Price say Thyssen. Is it BP Thyssen? Or Thyssen? Thyssen? If you want me to call you by that, I will. Even though I'm usually calling you BT Golf. Alfredo. It's not. American dream been dead for many years now. Middle class mostly gone. Little chance to lift yourself from poverty to middle class like my mother did. Enough said. Absolutely. Oh, hey, grats on making the people's champ. BT Golf from Captain Smoker. Awesome. I don't know if I missed that. I was literally just on your page though, so maybe I missed something because I was trying to read it and talk to people at the same time. Huge thank you to my first 100 subs. I've sent each of you 100k Millix for being a part of this first milestone, so appreciate to all of you. Let's go get to 1,000. Yeah, if I can get 1,000 subscriber on Tangled, I would be very happy, just because that just goes to show that there's that many like users that have interacted and have participated and stuff like that. I also said that this would be a very cool badge if you decided to do that. I'll give it a go. I wish you were in the states of New Zealand. No Verhead, just initial investment. I don't know what that means. Oh, what's up, Puzzle Rush? Actually, Puzzle Rush, I was thinking about you, maybe yesterday. Uh, so Renaissance Fairy likes to put up very elaborate poems and posts on the Neogenian page, and I was wondering if you wanted to try translating them into Filipino, and I would tip you out either a million. I'd probably tip you out about 1 million for everyone that you did. I haven't talked to Renaissance about it yet, but I'm sure that she wouldn't mind. But let me know if you feel like you have the time, or if you don't have the time, or if there's somebody else you would like to recommend for the job. I feel like if we had a larger Hispanic population, I would probably also pay somebody to translate it into Spanish. But I don't actually see any posts in Spanish on Tangled, which is so sad. So sad. But hey, make sure you go subscribe to the Neogenian on at Tangled. Right now we are at 151 subscribers. I want to thank everybody who has gone out of their way to subscribe. I am currently at 610 subscribers, so thank you for everybody who's come out to subscribe and support me. You can get a Tyco truck for 5 to 10K with all the bells and whistles. That's not bad, honestly. For me, I just feel like it would be too hot working in a truck. If I could handle the heat, cashing out 10K in Millix to, or 10 to 15K in Millix to buy a truck would be cool. Sub Spectral Cord, thanks for hanging out on YouTube, and I appreciate you, Spookadelics, for still watching. If you guys want to talk about anything in particular, feel free to drop it in the YouTube chat, and I will do my best. Tyson. Okay, so it's BP Tyson. If I say it like one word, BP Tyson. I heard Price say it. I wasn't sure it's Tyson instead of Tyson. So Tyson. Okay, I will remember that. BP Tyson. That's cool. I appreciate you working with me, because that's what the issue was that I was having. I was just calling you BT Golf because I had no idea how to say these letters and words together. You subscribe me, I subscribe you. No, I don't do that. That's not gonna happen. Sub me, sub you badge. Oh, okay, hold on. I think that we already have a badge like that, right? I didn't buy it specifically because there are people who jump in my DMs and they're like, it would be great if we supported each other, and then they're only active for 2 days. I'm sorry, guys. If you want me to sub you, you have to have a minimum amount of followers, you have to have a minimum amount of posts, and you have to have been on here for a certain amount of time. I need to see that you're actually having like reactions and comments. So please do not feel offended if I don't immediately subscribe to you. Oh, you want to talk about the blockchain stuff? Well, that's already up here and running right now, if you see that. So I actually got a request early in the week. I actually wanted to talk about a few things. So Danny, a few days ago, said, hey, what do you guys want to do with your Millix when we're making those major dollars, when we got them big old bucks? And what I put into the chat was that I wanted to buy an Earthship. So today I wanted to talk about Earthships, and I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the blockchain stuff when it comes to how the world is moving, because I actually had a conversation with somebody who is a bit anxious about blockchain. They were talking about how the clarity, the transparency when it comes to blockchain isn't just for the government or for businesses. It's also for you as an individual. It makes it so that the things that you are doing are also transparent. So I wanted to kind of talk about privacy and security when it comes to blockchain. So let's just dive right into that. Usagi Gallo Gallara Gallardo? Usagi Gallardo? What's up? Oh, okay, it's an old Tango joke. I was kidding. I will be translating the poem The Renaissance maybe later. Okay, thank you, Puzzle Rush. Let me know how it goes, and then I'll talk to Ren about it, and I'll still tip you out. Don't worry. It's an 18 plus badge though. Yeah, we might need a few of them. Sub me, sub you. Like I said, I already have my the badges that I want. I do want it edited, so I'm gonna have to have like time fungus draw it up. I'm gonna ask. Tell me about the blockchain. Okay, so really, you should just be talking to AI like you're talking to just any old random person on the streets because, listen, at this point you can't tell the difference. So my question was, tell me about blockchain transparency and personal privacy. Should I be worried that everyone will know what I'm doing? Um and I'm going to dive into this, guys. So if at any point you guys have questions or you want to make a statement, please put it in the chat. It says blockchain transparency and personal privacy are two sides of the same coin. While blockchains are inherently transparent, there are ways to protect your privacy. Let's break it down. How transparent is blockchain? Public blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, etc., every transaction is recorded permanently on a public ledger. Anyone can look up wallet addresses, transactions, and balances. So, as far as I'm aware, as long as you're not giving away your wallet address, even though people can see the wallet address associated with particular transactions, nobody knows who that person is, right? The next point is semi-private blockchains, Ripple and Hyperledger. I'm pretty sure Ripple is a pretty popular one that I've heard of, but I don't know if I've heard of Hyperledger. Some data is accessible only to authorized participants. Public is the only blockchain I'm familiar with. Okay, yeah, so there are a few. And then there's private blockchains. Enterprise solutions like R3 Corda. Transactions are only visible to specific users, making them more like traditional databases. So I would say the private blockchains are more like Big Brother having more viewership over you because it's already a small group of people who can see it, right? I feel like with the public blockchain, because it's so public and it's going to be so large, it might not necessarily be as easy to pinpoint particular actions and behaviors. So it could be the other way around. It could be that because there's only a very small group of people in the private blockchains that can see, people aren't really looking that much. Jonathan Hernandez says the only way to protect your privacy is to not transfer to a CEX, or you transfer to a CEX that they can track you. I don't know what a CEX is. Is it up here? No, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Hey Wells, thanks for coming to hang out. Hello everybody who I haven't centralized exchanged. Okay, so that's just short for centralized exchange. Interesting. Fair assessment. Thank you. So for public blockchains, hold on, let me make sure I'm at the right point. Transactions are pseudonyms, meaning your real name isn't attached to your wallet. So for public blockchains, the large number, right, is your identifier, but unless you dox yourself and have your numbers on screen, people don't know that that's actually your wallet. It says, but if someone links your wallet to you via an exchange, IP tracking, or public posts, they can see all your transactions, which is what I was thinking. Examples of how transparency can expose you. Imagine you buy something illegal or sensitive using Bitcoin. If someone knows your wallet address, they can trace your past transactions, see your current balance, and track future transactions. So the thing is, the moment that you are doxxed when it comes to your address, then they can immediately like put that in to see if you've made transactions anywhere else. Pretty much, they can just go market by market or blockchain by blockchain or whatever, and then start just like, oh yeah, this is all the stuff that this person has been doing. So it's kind of like having your fingerprint on demand, as opposed to decentralized exchanges, of course, although some of them require KYC now or some sort of verification. So on Tangled, even though we're not a blockchain, we're a DAG, we do have KYC, which means that for me, I had to have my identity verified by literally telling them who I was. I gave them my ID and all this other stuff. But Pornhub also asks you for your ID. They want you to take a picture of yourself with your ID with a piece of paper that you've written on so that they know that that's you. So at this point in time, are we really living in a society where these data banks don't know who you are, especially when they've been hacked and a lot of data has been leaked over and over again? Probably not. Also don't trust the government files like, especially we have people who are non-government bodies going through them and analyzing them and getting to see all of your social security numbers and your debts when it comes to schooling and stuff like that, which is one of the issues that we're running through right now. Less liquidity and MEV bots on DEX. Let's see. Can you protect your privacy? Hold on blockchain. Okay, so here's what people really want to know. How do you protect your privacy? So here are some methods. Use privacy coins. Cryptocurrencies like, I think it's I hear you guys talk about it. I can't Monero. I think that's how you guys say it. Decentralized exchange is what I want to learn. Its exchange and everything about it. Okay, so we'll talk about decentralized exchanges for sure. I mean, anyway, no worries, guys. Nope, we are all doxed in some way or another. Exactly, Octo. I think it's Monero. Is this one Monero or is that a different one? Is that with an A? And then Zcash Dash have built-in privacy features that hide your transaction details. Monero, for example, mixes transactions together, making it nearly impossible to trace who sent what. So I think that this is one of those situations where I'm extremely afraid of the IRS. I have, every time I hear the word IRS, I am afraid that the SWAT team is going to jump down out of helicopters, bust through the ceiling, and point weapons with lasers directly at me. That is how I feel about the IRS. So I think that having some kind of knowledge of what kind of coins to use to kind of hide things, jumble things up, is very useful. What's a good live stream software to use? I use OBS. IRS are feds that carry guns. Yeah. XMR. Monero. What a crazy one. XMR. Secret is skirt. Anyway, sorry. The second option is use coin mixers, tumblers, services like Wasabi Wallet, Samurai Wallet, and Tornado Cash mix your funds with others, making it hard to trace transactions. However, regulators have cracked down on these services. Tornado Cash was sanctioned by the US government. So, I mean, I feel like this is going to be one of those kinds of things where there's always going to be a way to kind of cover your tracks. But how like the IRS and the US government works, they will ask you where your funds are from. Like, how did you get all of this money? And if you can't properly account for the money that you have, you will also go to jail. You know, they do want their tax dollars. Even though it's your money and it is theft, they do want their tax dollars. My ex-intern was a revenue officer for IRS. They aren't tough. They aren't tough. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're pencil pushers. It's okay if they're a pencil pusher, but in sometimes not being tough is more dangerous because you're going to have people who are going to be confrontational, like, bro, how dare you come up to my door and ask me about my taxes? I should beat you up. And like, you talking like that, they might immediately pull a weapon on you and try and take you out because they're easily intimidated. So sometimes not being tough is more dangerous. Like, I don't know if I should think about them as SWAT team coming down from the ceiling trying to take me out, or if I should think of them as like blue collar walking down the street and you like speak to them and they get spooked. Like, you say boo and they literally jump. Either way, to me, it's a scary picture. It's a scary picture to me. Like, I don't care how kind I come across or how lovely I talk to people or how intimate I try to be with people. If they're hell bent on being scared and intimidated, I'm shot. That's it. I am Swiss cheese. So not the SWAT image, the other image. Okay. Iris took Al Capone down. Yeah. I mean, they did what they had to do to take him down and stuff like that. Your wallet gets flagged if you use tumblers. See? Okay, but that's the thing, though. Like, I think that we should just be teaching people how to be hackers. I'm not joking. I think that we should be teaching people how to be ethical hackers and the dangers of non-ethical hacking, of course. I think that we should get away from software like Windows. I think like we should get away from like Microsoft, Apple, and Samsung. I think that we should be. What's that one? I know you guys know what it is. What's the one software that people can put on their computers that you have to know coding to do everything for? I can't remember what it's called. I think everybody should be learning how to do that and be building up their own software piece by piece. Linux. Everybody should be learning Linux. Absolutely. Thank you, Dabs. So yeah, Octo says, even though coin tumblers work, they immediately get you flagged by the government. So you got to be careful. Thank you, Spooks. I appreciate it. Yes, Linux. Thank you. Everybody should be learning that because how our technology is, it's layered off of technology, software that was built back in the 90s and the 2000s and stuff like that. So when we're having these major issues because they have this ancient Microsoft computer in somebody's like $1 million building that hasn't been changed out in 2 decades, is because only that computer can do that because of how the software has been stacked on. Everybody needs to get into learning how to code, how to communicate with AI, how to build their own AI, probably creating their own servers at home, creating your own intranet between you and either your family at home or your building or whatever. I think that we should get away from hoping that we can just create these giant data centers. It would be much better for humanity at large if families were creating miniature servers at home where they can host data and make money off of the data that they were hosting for these $1 million companies. And then you could put money in your own pocket instead of tax dollars being used to build these giant data centers and then you seeing no benefit from it. And then it's sucking all the energy out of your local vicinity. It's polluting the environment. It's using enormous amounts of water, right? I think that there are much better solutions to the problems that we have. It's just that people have to be educated. Hardware has to be affordable. And people have to understand the long-term benefit of what it means to self-educate, learn these tools and skills and stuff like that. Define hacking. Go. Hacking is the simple act of using metaphor through medium to create change. So conversation is hacking, because where you either have no thoughts or you have your own thoughts, I am now inputting new thoughts. I'm giving you the chance to have new information. Now, if you can understand that information, that will determine how well my hacking is going, right? So that means that as the hacker, I have to have the skills to know the best way to apply my language to get the results that I want. So sometimes you need more complex language or metaphors, and sometimes you need very simple language or metaphors to get what you want. Breaking and entering. Kind of. I mean, so when I was in college, right? One of my exes, I think we were like walking or something like that, and I had made a comment about seeing auras, and she was pretty much like, I feel violated. And I was like, what? Now, I had been talking about seeing auras for a long time and like interacted with a lot of people and done all types of work with people and stuff like that. But it was the very first time someone had told me that they felt violated because I said that I can see energy, or I can interact with the energy around people, or I get a sense of people and stuff like that. It was the first time someone had told me that they felt violated. And it literally almost broke my mind. Like, it shocked me to my core, because it had never been something that I had considered as overly intimate, an invasion of people's privacy, or like encroaching upon other people's personal space. It had, mind you, so I was like in my early 20s when this happened, but it had literally reshaped the way that I think about how I'm interacting with the world. And I had already had anxiety about using my language or hacking to manipulate people in the world around me. That was something that I had deep anxiety about for a long, long time in life. Of course, now that I'm older, I understand that we are all affecting each other. We are all reflecting into each other. We are all aiding in each other's evolution, whether that's consciously or unconsciously. And so I don't necessarily put so much emphasis on preventing myself from executing particular actions or thoughts, because I am as upfront as possible with people. I want people to know that I, on purpose, want to lessen the unnecessary suffering in the world. I want to be lucid. I want to think clearly. I don't want to be delusional, right? I am very upfront with people about those things. Now, if you are delusional, if you are confused, if you're dim-witted, it might be hard for you to understand what I'm saying if you think that what I'm saying is a joke, right? So at that point, that's just you not taking life seriously enough. Maybe that's you not respecting yourself enough. Maybe that's you not considering the effect the people you're hanging out with have affected you, right? So I can't think for everybody around me, and I don't want to think for everybody around me. A different one of my exes told me that I have to give them the opportunity to decide if they want to be with me or not, and I can't censor myself or hold myself back in an attempt to make myself more likable for them, right? And of course, they did eventually leave, so that there's that. But at the end of the day, I agreed with them, right? I agreed with what they were saying, and I realized that I shouldn't water myself down for people who can't handle me. Shohana, thanks for coming to stop by. What's up, Gray? in Spookadelics, that is pretty much where I was at. So Spookadelic says reading energy tends to be an automatic process, though. So mind you, this was when I was like really getting into understanding how to use like tarot, understanding how to do astrology and astronomy and stuff like that, because I was taking astronomy in school when I was in university, and I was studying astrology because my uncle, as a wizard, had a bunch of books on it. So I was reading up on his books. So for me, as somebody who's super sensitive and hyper intuitive, it's literally just like looking at people and getting a sense of their particular flavor. That for me, that's how it works. I get a sense of people's flavor. I get associations of like smells and tastes and stuff like that. So it wasn't anything where like I was like, okay, hold on. It says that I've been disconnected. You're gonna have to give me a second. It says I've been reconnected again. Let me know if you guys can see me or not. No problem, Shohana. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks, Gray. Octo, I thought you said you was going to bed because you were so sleepy. Breaking it. Okay, 3 very different definitions here. Interesting. That was the point of the exercise. LOL. Hold up. You're gonna say your uncle was a wizard and not tell us more. Yeah, my uncle was extremely religious in his youth, and his relationship with the church destroyed his marriage and had a huge impact on the development of his family. And he went out and did a lot of searching. I do feel that it was a bit regretful, as he was able to obtain a lot of knowledge of things, but wasn't able to properly apply it in his life to help him become successful or to achieve the dreams that he wished for. And so, while I do care about him deeply, I hope that he finds himself and that he is able to take responsibility and be accountable for his actions over the last 3 decades. But anyway, wizard is a man witch. Well, a man witch is just a witch. So if we're breaking things down, right? Wizards are wise men. They are individuals who go out and learn about physics and mysticism, right? Witches tend to be people who are intuitive, but they are looking, they have a type of knack for working with energies and restructuring those energies by applying them to things, right? Sorcerers are those who either try to draw energy from particular idols or entities or out of themselves. Warlocks are those who, I mean, in the more modern times, they talk about being oath breakers, but warlocks are kind of like the people who are going to make sure that they win no matter what, at any cost. Good night, Spookadelics. Thanks for coming by. You can withhold how deep you read into someone, but you can't really like verbally ask for consent before it starts. I mean, I'm just minding my business. I didn't ask you to rub up all on me and then like leave your scent and stuff behind. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Have a good sleep though. I appreciate it. We'll talk more about blockchain in the future, especially once you jump in. So there's still plenty of stuff that we can go over. Sorry that I didn't get all the way to the bottom. We got a little sidetracked. So what else do we talk about? Mages. Mages are people who like to tinker. They like to set up like geomancy and runes. They're similar to alchemists. And then alchemists are those who do transmutation on themselves and the world around them. Usagi, what face is that? What face is that? So that's how you know about La Santa Muerte. Yeah, actually, so I have I have a lot of esoteric affiliation. So this tattoo that I have is from when I was in college and I joined a secret society called Ordo Templi Orientis, which is Order of the Temple of the East. Or I think Aerosol or Time Fungus, one of them typed 93s in the chat one day because I was talking about love under will. So this secret society is the Thelemic Society. BP Tyson says, I'm a level 85 necromancer. The interesting thing about necromancy is that it's a form of shamanism. Unfortunately, it's been bastardized in video games and modern culture, but necromancy is literally the ability to work with the dead. So shamans also have the ability to work with the dead. They're just seen in a much lighter view. Necromancy, shamans, witch doctors, they're a very similar circle of magic users. Usagi, it is very sad to hear. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, the stream is laggy. Okay. Which poem would you like me to translate, bro? Is it the dialectical dance? Let's go back over here and see. That's the homie. Go over to the homie's page. Their last one that they put up was the Alchemy of Desire, a transformation of soul. And when you do it, you can just directly add it to the Neogenian page, okay? And I will tip you directly on the post, okay? And hopefully that will help you, you know, I think you already have a decent amount. Let me see. Okay, hopefully that'll help you get more subscribers and it'll help spread the Neogenian community further. So I was just trying to look for ways to help get you involved, since you seem to be have high energy and you keep asking for the videos. I still want to upload the rest of the other videos, but we've just been having so much content being pushed out that it's hard to get everything organized and structured properly. But thank you for asking. Where was we? We were just sitting over here. And you know, we still haven't talked about we have not had a chance to talk about Earthships. Says it a beneficial deity, Dabs. What's he talking about, deities? So that's how you know. Okay, yes. Says it's a beneficial deity. It can be a beneficial deity, Santa Muerte. I just said my eyes are bleeding, but that's normal for me. Oh, okay. That's normal for some of the vampires I know from the UK as well. Gotta head to bed. Good night. Good stuff, Lee. Thanks for hanging out, bro. I appreciate you. Good night to everyone, he says. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video on Earthships because Earthships are cool. And I haven't seen this video in particular. Have you guys ever heard of Earthships? Okay, I'll translate it in my language and make a poem about it too. Awesome, because you also do poems and stuff like that too. Yeah, so if you feel like you want to share some of your poems on topic with directly onto the Neogenian page, let me know. Okay. Hold up, fucking vampires. And then yes, for sure, bro. So yeah, vampires are a thing too. In our current society, what we have are energy vampires, and a lot of people are expecting bloodletting and stuff like that, which there are I mean, you can look up bloodletting videos online. I remember there used to be vampire houses where people would live together and bloodlet into each other. They would slice each other's skin and suck on each other's blood and stuff like that, which is an actual thing that happens in the world. Now, sucking human blood can make you very sick, so that's not something that I recommend. If you want to be a vampire in our current society, and I don't want to say not be sick because you still have to be a certain level of sick for what you're doing, but to be a vampire is to put yourself in a place of dominance over others and to suck the life force out of them. And right now, how our systems are set up, every time you go to work and you work and produce $1,000 worth of profit and product, and you're only allowed to bring home 10% of that, you are being sucked dry by vampires. When you have a friend who is constantly coming to you for advice and never listens, you are being sucked dry by a vampire. If you're dealing with narcissists, you're probably also being sucked dry by a vampire. So, we don't really have to get into the specifics of that. Just know that vampires walk among you and will suck you dry. If you feel like you are losing a part of yourself. All right, we have Aswang in Philippines, bro. The most powerful legendary creature similar to vampires. I actually wanted to look up, I think it's the Filipino goblin. Sorry, I don't know how to spell Filipino, guys. I always think that it's with a PH. I don't know why. Please don't hate me. So the duende is a goblin-like creature in the Philippine mythology. The nuno sa punso in another type of goblin. Oh, is another type of goblin-like spirit in the Philippines. Duende, a playful goblin that shows itself to children. The Spanish word duende translates to goblin, elf charm. The term tener duende translates to having soul or a heightened state of emotions. The chupacabra, no. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Nuno Sapunso, a goblin that is easily angered and will seek retribution. I think this is the one that I remembered because I ended up having to. I think I read a story from a Filipino a few years ago, or like a year or so ago, on this one website that I get on. Believed to inhabit places such as underneath large rocks, trees, riverbanks, caves, or backyards. Yeah, I was thinking that it was like more into the forest, so trees and rocks and riverbanks. Permission is asked of the Nuno before felling a tree or breaking virgin ground to avoid angering it. Other mythological creatures in Philippine folklore include Tianak, a creature that can take the form of a baby, a dwarf, or a small old man. Tikbalang, Tikbalang, a malevolent spirit that can take the form of a massive half-human, half-horse hybrid. And Capre, a mythological creature that is feared. That's all it says. It just says feared. What? What is this? It's so scary that this is all that it has. Oh yeah, the Mexicans have duendes. With teary eyes, she kissed and hugged tight, and then she flew away. Thari, what's up, bro? Thanks for coming to hang out. Quack, what's up? What's up, Thari and Quack? You guys come through when we start talking about crazy stuff. Chupacabra. Octo, what kind of scary stuff do you have as like folklore and legends where you're at? What kind of scary stuff? Do you know about the Seelie and Unseelie court, Octo? Have you heard of the Seelie and Unseelie court when it comes to the Fae? Kepra is usually portrayed as a big humanoid being, much like a giant, but living in old trees or something. So you've heard of it? And kick that little fucker like a sucker ball. You've never heard? So, Octo, do you know about the Fae? Have you ever heard of the Fae where you're from? Like fairies and stuff like that? Gray, do you have any mythological creatures that you remember? Do you have any folklore or spiritual creatures? So you'd have heard of the Fae. Okay. So when we talk about the Fae, when it comes to real folklore, right? You have to know about the Seelie and Unseelie court, which the Seelie court is ruled over by the fairy king, and the Unseelie court are the fairies, the dark fae, the ones that eat people. So most people are used to. Let's see what they say about Seelie. Okay, here it is. So, in Scottish folklore, specifically, Seelie and Unseelie court refers to the division of fairies, with the Seelie court representing the more benevolent fairies and the Unseelie court representing the malicious ones, essentially the good fairies and the bad fairies, respectively. Key points about Seelie and Unseelie court etymology. Seelie comes from the Old English word seal, meaning blessed or happy, while Unseelie simple means not seelie. Okay, it means the not seelie, that's it. Tyanax was created by teens. So it's something new? Halus numbers. Never heard of it. Yeah, Tyanax sound very scary. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, so my one of my old bosses was a Vietnamese lady who was married to a Chinese man. So I used to work in a sushi restaurant, right? And she told me that in the old country they were still taking babies, aborted babies, and putting them in jars with spells and casting magic on people and stuff like that. And I think she was saying that this is something that she had experienced when she was a child. But like that's kind of one of those things where like you don't have to imagine horrible things in the world. There are already horrible things happening in the world. The things that are so horrible that it's hard to even talk about them, because if you do talk about them, you can be banned off the internet. That's how scary they are. Yeah, La Lorena. Yeah, I haven't researched into La Lorena at all. I haven't, but I have heard about her. I heard she was kind of scary. La Llorona. Rona. La Llorona. Is it La Lorena or La Llorona? Was I saying it wrong? La Llorona is a vengeful ghost from Mexican folklore. She is also known as the Weeping Woman. The legend La Llorona is said to roam near bodies of water. She weeps for her children, whom she drowned in jealous rage. Whoever hears her cry will suffer misfortune or death. She is often associated with children, and some stories say she's killed her own children. She is said to appear as a dangerous siren, wake up sleeping watchmen, or have skulled face appears. So let's think about this for a second, okay? Let's focus on this. Oh, La Llorena, Llorena. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm mad American, bro. I'm mad American. Lo sientos, okay? Mi no habla español, okay? Piquito. So let's focus on this a little bit, okay? Um, the similarities to this type of ghost. So in Japan, a ghost is any type of negative entity, okay? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. There's a guy who last video was him recording her. He was never found after that. That's fucked. Wait, I've heard that lore. I've watched a lot of scary YouTube videos, and I've seen a video about the weeping woman. Damn, he cries. Her cries are very eerie. So in Japan, right, they have something that's called a water ghoul, right, or a type of water ghost. And it's supposed to be women or children that have drowned in rivers or lakes, right? And they're supposed to pretty much be types of spirits that if you enter into these types of bodies of waters because you hear like a crying child or a weeping woman and you're going out there to try and save them, they drag you under the water and they try to kill you as well, right? So it's interesting that there are many types of stories around the world about different types of vengeful water style ghosts that are either drowning other people or have been known to drown people and stuff like that in their living life. I think that so because I look at the world as a mind experiencing itself, I think all of reality that we're experiencing and not the reality that we're not experiencing, the non-local reality, is energy, light interacting with itself. I do believe that psychic imprints can be left in places of great horror or trauma that people had experienced in those places. And people who are sensitive, I feel like, can pick up on that kind of stuff and end up inadvertently ending themselves by falling into these nightmare like scenarios and zones where the ghost or the spirit or the energy is literally suffocating them to death and sucking the life out of them. The yokai, there's a lot of yokai in Japan, yeah. So there's I feel like we have gotten so sidetracked and have talked about hate Blair Witch so creepy. I never got into the Blair Witch. I did watch a lot of Paranormal Activity growing up just because I thought it was fun. It was like so cool to see a recording of people doing things and then getting scared and then scary stuff happening all around. I thought that was fun. I saw some of those in Japan, Japanese animation, many types of spirits in various forms, for sure. And I actually really appreciate Japan for having such a detailed outline of so many different types of horrors of what they are. Like, I mean, how I look at this when they start talking about like the different ghosts and demons and stuff like that, and they have backstories. They're literally talking about like, yeah, this baby didn't make it, or the mother did XYZ to them, or this village suffered this calamity or a drought or whatever. It literally outlines what could possibly happen to people's spirits by experiencing particular types of trauma, right? So I like to take a psychological spin on it. And even if it's not real, even if it doesn't matter and stuff like that, being able to apply how people slowly degrade into insanity, madness, and other forms of mental states that can cause them to want to harm themselves or others, I think is very important. The scariest thing I've encountered was when I went to public toilet, not going back there anymore. I don't blame you. It's unfortunate because I'm somebody, I believe that we should have more public toilets. We should have like large shower areas for people. I think that that stuff like is very important. Like bathhouses, unfortunately, they're never clean. They're not upkept. The community doesn't clean them. The government and the state doesn't clean them, and they end up, wasting away. It's horrible. Um, Paranormal Activity 1 made my sister lose sleep for about a week. Wow, really? See, my whole thing is I enjoy the stimulation of fear. So I like to push myself to, you know, find things that might unsettle me or even upset me so that I can really know myself better. And I feel like pushing my boundaries and my limits has allowed me to grow exponentially in life. And I feel like I'm nowhere near anywhere I even want to be when it comes to like being able to tackle um fear like states or anxiety or depravity or anything like that, just because I know that there are such great horrors out there. Like, I don't want to be tortured. I would probably, I don't want to say like I would lose my mind, but just the idea that somebody like the Saw movies, I've never gone out of my way to watch that kind of stuff just because I don't think that it can even put a taste to what it's truly like to experience something like that, where you have to decide between cutting off your own foot to get a key to escape and to forever be, an amputee pretty much, or to just outright die and not have to worry about that anymore. Like, I think that the horrors that people can commit to you, like, there are people who, like, I watched Dexter, and Dexter was really big on kidnapping people, taking them to whatever spot he was going to chop them up, letting them, well, usually I think he wouldn't let them wake up, but he would still monologue to them and stuff like that. Captain Smoker says, I've never had any sort of spiritual moment in life that I'm aware of anyway. So you're saying that you haven't had any paranormal experience, right? You haven't had any type of supernatural or extraordinary experience? Because these are like three different fields of view when it comes to experiencing the world. I mean, sometimes the experience isn't something that is mentally shocking. Have you ever seen something so breathtaking and captivating that it caused you to pause, or was ingrained into your mind? It was literally imprinted onto you. Have you ever fallen in love? Have you ever felt so deeply invested into something that nobody else could understand where you were coming from and where all this extra energy and attention you were putting into it was? Is it good? I would say that it's eye-opening. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good or bad. I think that for some people, they are so caught up in experiencing life how they imagine it to be. Okay, so he says that he has fallen in love. So falling in love is a type of magic all on its own. It's a type of supernatural phenomena. But it also depends. So for some people, there is love at first sight. For some people, it's a gradual falling. It's like, hey, I think this person is cool. Or maybe it's, hey, I don't even like this person. Let's hang out or whatever. So you hang out with somebody and you slowly fall in love with them. But like, when you're truly in love with somebody and their being has integrated into your thoughts, you think about them, and you can synchronize, like just thinking about them and they'll text you, or you'll text them and they'll say, oh, I was just thinking about you and stuff like that. And these are types of supernatural events. It might not seem super shocking or crazy or anything like that. It might just seem coincidental, but the magic is happening all around you. So I'm not somebody who believes in like what is it called, I don't want to say coincidentals, synchronicities. There are some people who put a lot of weight into synchronicities. I don't put a lot of weight into synchronicities, but I do think that energy is constantly flowing and that we are interacting and involved with each other, and how we are interacting and how we are involved with each other leaves a type of imprint, leaves a type of impression, and it can cause us to react in particular ways from stimuli. So I think that maybe you might have missed some of the magic that was all around you, and you just didn't realize that it was magic. Because maybe you do appreciate it. Maybe you're just thankful for it, you know? Maybe it's not something that you take for granted or anything like that. Just to you, it's a normal day. But for some people who have never fallen in love or who have never cared about anybody before, they can't understand that. To them, having that experience that you're having would be shocking, right? It would be so far removed from anything that they know. Oh, wow, really? Yo, now that's cool. So Jonathan Hernandez, right, was experiencing a type of psychometry, right? What is another word for that they use? Um, Dang, what is another word for that? So Jonathan Hernandez says, "My brother and I used to be in a semi-pro paintball team, and I always knew where he was on the field without seeing him." So this can be quite a few different things. So it might not necessarily be psychometry. It could also be telepathy, right? To get a sense of where this other mind is. Um, so I probably did, bro. I can be a bit like that. Maybe you're dense, Captain Smoker. Are you somebody who's dense? Sometimes moments that are big to people in life seem trivial to me. Maybe you're just a little too dense. Like, I've never done paintball dabs. I'm honestly kind of scared of getting my eyeball shot out. I'm also scared of being lit up and having a bunch of bruises. I don't usually bruise, but something tells me something like that might bruise me. Quack Quick says, "I love the kind of connection, coincidental but somehow seems magical." Somehow it seems magical, and to me it would be the somehow coincidental, but it is magical. For me, it is like a type of intimacy, a type of love, and a type of unity, right? So a lot of people say that you can't define love. How I look at love is a type of unity. It's all the things that bring us together and bring us closer regardless of the language or the actions and stuff like that. Love is something that is a compound complex. Like how zero isn't a number, it's a result. I think love is not a type of number, but a result. It's something that you get when you perform other things, right? How I look at hate is something that's divisive. It's something that separates you, whereas love is things that bring you together and creates harmony. So my husband and I can synchronize each other. That is super cute, Usagi. So growing up, me and my cousins, my aunt used to tell us that we would communicate without speaking, right? We would be able to tell the other person to go get the ball and play in particular ways and have very complex, structured interactions without using any type of words. So she said that we would be talking to each other in our minds or using telepathy and stuff like that. Oh, and then Usagi says we have the same dreams after we fight and don't talk to each other. So when I was in college, I was running a type of experiment, right? I was inviting people to be closely bound to me and be in these very tight relationships with me where they would become my human familiars, which was a type of taboo black magic back then, right? And I would invite them to share dream space with me. And so at night, we would have the same dreams. I was also in a triumvirate with two women at that time too, right? And so because I'm poly, right? I'm non-monogamous. I'll just say that I'm non-monogamous without putting myself out there too much. When they were in mid-coitus with other people, or when they were intimate with other people, the other person could always tell, right? So say it was one out of the three of us that were being intimate with somebody else, someone outside of the three of us, two of us would be able to tell that that person was being intimate, right? So I do think that the relationships that we build with people, especially when we open ourselves up to those very deep, intimate, spiritual things, can allow us to pass on all types of different types of information. Let me see. Maybe we experience it but don't understand what's happening or how it works, Octo says. I think so too. I think sometimes people don't want to complicate things that are special. Sometimes they're like, instead of worrying about why, who, how these things are happening, I would rather just appreciate that it's happening, be thankful, show the other person that I care, and then keep moving forward without thinking about it too much, which I think is completely fine. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Instinct. So I would say for some people, it is an instinct. For other people, it is beyond instinct and it is intuition. right? And beyond intuition, I would say that it is a structured form of mind, some type of special bond that you've created with that person. And beyond that, that's when we start getting into things when people are talking about like soulmates and twin flames and stuff like that. People think that these are just single individual entities, or that these are people that they're going to be in relationships with, or that they practically own and stuff like that. That is not what I think. That is not what I agree on. That's not how I view these types of structures. I think that we have the potential to be each other's soulmates and twin flames and stuff like that when we reach higher degrees of unity with people. And I don't think that it's limited to one or two types of people, or um maybe you'll miss your window or anything like that. I just think that it is kind of like right time, right place. You have to be a certain level of vulnerable, and I know vulnerability is very tough with people. Tween sync. I don't know what that means. Tween sync after the instinct. LOL. You wars. You wear a mask. Don't get hit. Don't get bruises. I know. You get used to it. You don't even feel it with all the adrenaline. Yeah, I'm also not used to having adrenaline pump through my body. I'm actually very calm, cool, and collected most of the time. And when I'm raging, it's because I want to rage. I usually don't have to worry too much about adrenaline pushing me to perform particular emotional actions. Coincidental connections. It might seem, but actually a connection of the soul. Quack seems like magic, yes. Be right back. No problem, Gray. I'm gonna pop over to Hattie Hat's stream now, bro. Go roll my marble down the track. Thanks for yet another thought-provoking episode, bro. No problem. Thanks, Captain Smoker, for coming to hang out. I'm actually gonna be getting off of here very soon. Usagi, yes, a special bond like me and Hubs, where we are lovers since 2003. I seen the heaven and hell after I met him. I believe it. I genuinely believe that. I was referring to tweens having a special bond sometimes. I was thinking about that, like when they talk about like summer romance when it comes to like the teen summer romance. I don't know how it is over there, but we do talk about that sometimes. I think that when you're going through puberty and it's time to start changing and your world is opening up, you can definitely form connections with people in your teenage years. Some people it happens earlier, some people it happens later. Illegal street racing is a good source of adrenaline too. Yeah, they put up all the roadblocks in the roads now, so you can't even drag race down the long, cool roads anymore. But unfortunately, guys, we did not get to the self-sufficient eco village with 24 Earthships that I wanted to talk about. And it is about time that I get off of here. So I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me and spending these last, like, I don't know, 2 hours or so with me. I honestly don't know how long we've been streaming. Let me see. Yeah, almost 2 hours. So I appreciate it. Hattie Hat is streaming, I think, is what Captain Smoker just said. Let me see if anybody else is streaming. And yeah, so Hattie Hat is streaming. You guys should go over there and go try and get some Milix. Play his marbles games. I still have not been able to play. I still have not fixed my Twitch. I do need to fix it, and I will in the future, so I can go over there and play with him. Yes, I'm gonna go over there and play with him. Ha 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 ha. So funny, right? Puzzle Rush says, most of the time the wife was the one bringing hell home, according to my experiences. Yeah, I mean, for everybody, it's a little different. I wish that I could have found somebody to be in a long-term relationship with. I think that I have plenty of my own issues. I think that people who put up with me for extended periods of time um, are already trying their best because it's hard to deal with me. Like I said, I am somebody who wants to think clearly, right? I want to be lucid. I don't want to be delusional. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be manipulated. I don't want to be guilt tripped, right? The thing is, when you're in a relationship with somebody, there's a little bit of all of that stuff happening all the time. And sometimes it's not in mass, in large, it's not all consuming, it's not the foundation of the relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes it is the games that you're playing with your partner to make things a little spicy or to surprise them or to get a certain type of reaction out of them and stuff like that, right? And so, since I don't like being manipulated emotionally or physically or whatever, um, it is hard for me to react to what people are saying or to what other people might think is important and deserves one of my reactions. I'm somebody who wants to be very involved with the people around me, right? I want to offer solutions to people's problems and I want to help people move to a higher state of mental being. And so that can be extremely taxing for people who just want to have fun, who just want to dance in the rain, who just want to enjoy their video games or watch their TV or whatever, right? So I feel like I can drive people insane or mad or any number of different mental states. I can bring people joy and happiness and clarity, of course. I can give people great insights. I can do all types of stuff. But I know when it comes to long term exposure, more often than not, people fall into a state of craze or insanity because of all the mental pressure that builds up. Hey, Heretical, I actually have not had a chance to even talk about the Earthships today. We ended up talking about literally everything else except for the Earthship. But I think I'll probably save that for the next stream and I'll just rename this stream to like AI and magic because we were talking about like magic and spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I am about to get off because it is already super late and I am super duper tired. Like, I could probably pass out right now. So I appreciate everybody to come and hang out. Usagi, your last message is my husband, he drinks. I do. He smokes. I do. I let him flirt with girls, but he doesn't want. Maybe he just too loyal, but we argue, of course. That's fun. Oh, hey, Ren. Thanks for coming to stop by. It's kind of late now, guys, so maybe you can catch the replay, but feel free to leave some comments on my video on YouTube if you want to help it kind of blow up or go out. I'm sorry I was late. No problem. Heretical Ren says hi. Hey, iMagic. Yo, iMagic, listen, Octo, my ideal iMagic would be light manipulation so that I can shoot laser beams from my eyes, but also use the light of my eyes in a hypnotic way when I'm interacting with others so I can beguile their mind. Now, I know that that is not ethical. I know that that is not a very responsible ability to want, but like, dang, how cool would that be? Good night, Puzzle Rush. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you, bro. Oh, and since you're here, Renaissance Fairy, I asked Puzzle Rush over on Tangled to translate your poem into Filipino and post it into the Neogenian page to help give it more exposure. Puzzle Rush, when you do that, please make sure that you leave a link to Renaissance Fairy's original post so that they can go over there and interact with it as well. Puzzle Rush, the one that I told him was the latest one that you pointed out, that you put up. Let me see. It was the Alchemy of Desire, a transformation of the soul. So I'll read this before we get off to end this. Shohana, just prepare my breakfast. Sorry, guys. No problem. We're actually about to end this, but I'm gonna read Renaissance poem at the end just to get to close out the stream. So Renaissance and Heretical Response is hanging out on YouTube. We also seen Spookadelics, and we saw Spectral Chord on YouTube, and then everybody else right now is on Tangled. So forgive me, but this is going to be the end of it. And just so I can make one last comment to Asagi, who says that she tells her husband to flirt with girls, but he doesn't want to because he's loyal. I think that it would be magical to be with somebody who wants to find beauty all around you and appreciate other people and stuff like that. I mean, some people can't. Once they find you, it's done, and that's okay. But I think that looking at beautiful people is awesome. So I'd be just like you, like, hey, is that person gorgeous? What do you think about them? I don't blame you. Alchemy of Desires it is. Okay, bro, noted. Usagi, are you sad because I said that? It says, The Alchemy of Desire, a transformation of the soul. In the crucible of thought, where radiant ideas ignite, desire is refined, illuminating the path to new heights. A gentle whisper, a profound longing, a beacon of light, elevating the soul with its infinite potential. The mind, a dynamic catalyst, transforms longing into purpose, infusing vision with the power to create and nourish. Yearning is distilled into a clear and compelling dream, a potent elixir of motivation. Brace. To desire is to live, to seek is to evolve. Through the complexities of growth, we discover our inner strength. The alchemy of desire reshapes our minds, transforming our souls and redefining our purpose. So let us dream, dear visionary, and temper our passions, lest our golden aspirations turn to ashes in the fire of desire. For longing is a powerful catalyst, but wisdom is the key. The art of becoming eternally free, unfolding our true potential. And this is the image that Renaissance added to go with their poem, which I thought was very lovely. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Usagi, I can't read that on stream. But that's good that he was responsible and he didn't want to touch. I'm glad that you have a husband who cares about you. I'm very jealous. I wish that I could one day find somebody who wants to hang out with me and care about me like that as well. And Renaissance Fairy, no problem. It was very beautiful, heretical, I agree. Thank you, Usagi. So this poem is over here on the Neogenian channel, and it was written by Renaissance Fairy. So Renaissance Fairy is new to Tangled, so when you do see her posts, please interact with her. She's very kind, and she's open to interact with the community here. So I hope to see you guys in the future. Thank you so much, Octo. It's 2 a.m. where Octo is right now, and he stayed up with bleeding eyes just to hang out with us. Excuse me. I really appreciate you. I know that you'll probably be over in Hattie Hats, but I do hope that you can get a nap in before tomorrow, and hopefully we see yeah, hopefully we see this exchange do some interesting things over the next few days. I gotta get Tangled. Heretical Response, you have it Tangled. Here, should I show you your page? Heretical. Oh, did I not spell it right? Hold on. Wait. I know you have a page. I literally wrote it down. Maybe it's one word. Heretical. Did I not spell it right? Okay, maybe I was wrong. I thought you had to maybe put. Wait, I have it as a sticky note. Let me see if I wrote it down. Dang, did I not write it down? Yeah, it should be this one. Maybe it got deleted. Okay, maybe it got deleted because I can't find it. But you should create a Tangled. I'll send you a link. Use my affiliate link when you sign up. Okay. Los Vampiro. Muhahaha. No problem. Thanks for coming to hang out, Ice. And I'll probably just pay everybody out for being active in the chat since you guys were awesome. I hope you have a good day, Usagi. I appreciate you for hanging out for so long. And no problem. And then it might be my ex-husband's band. I probably spelled it wrong. I'm gonna work on it now. Okay, no problem. Let me send you my affiliate link and then you can sign up for it, okay? Don't skip out on me. Okay, I'm ending this. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you all later as soon as I end the stream.